why not go do the whole Fronts of Escape?
Yeah, I used to do that as well, but we'll see what these guys do. We're actually starting now, and we've got all four of our runners are actually starting in Sanctuary and grabbing it looks like a big 20 to start us off with.
Yeah, that's a big 20.
So we're going to get a map check from somebody, from everyone. It looks like we've got Crystal and Eastern. I saw Pendant and Hair, and I missed Desert.
I think Desert was the Crystal, and Tower of Hair was definitely the blue Pendant.
So as we start, everyone's doing the same route, except we've got Drac, who is actually going to be doing a little hula-hand, grabbing some money here. This is a nice little trick to grab early money into Kakariko, or you could just get a tree pull with 80 rupees. That's a little unfortunate for Drac, but he will have a little bit more cash on hand.
And looks like the Bush Crab's dropping small magic files. Frostbite is stocking up, and Korek's just going straight into the Lumberjack Cave. Ooh, that's a bug net in the Lumberjack Cave. Not necessary at all, unless he wants to do some extremely swag strats against Aghanim. But considering you need to beat Aghanim to even get that bug net, it's not going to be possible today.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then to add a little injury to insult, I guess, for Drac, he opens up 300 rupees in Link's house. So he doesn't have to worry about cash for a while now. He's actually already got Zora money.
He's literally taking that pile of cash and just buying bombs straight away without having to worry about farming them. Oh, we've got a sword in the Lost Woods. That's a very nice early game find.
Yeah, convenient spot for the sword, and we've got a shovel. So a couple different items already in Lost Woods.
I can't imagine that Plague Knight sprite is too pleased about finding a shovel.
Yeah. Nice little divergence here. Goomba's actually going to go check Uncle. Meanwhile, Drac is going to go check the back of Sashirala's closet. See if we got anything there. It's a nice quick 3 item.
Oh, that is probably the fastest low health warning I've ever heard any runner use.
Is that double speed?
It's practically triple.
that is pretty good. Uncle's got a red meringue for us, though. And the back of Sashirala's closet, not really paying anything out. We got Korak with our first runner into Blind's Hut, and we get a bottle, which will be nice because that makes the routing of Kakariko a little bit more convenient.
As well as a heart container and 20 rupees. It's basically Blind's basement is painted red today.
Yes, it is.
I do not get what's going on with this health warning. It beeps really rapidly. It's kind of done so many beats that it keeps up for a few seconds, then starts again.
I've never seen that before. That's good. We got blue mail in the first chest of the dam, and Goomba's actually going to give us our look at the Zelda cell. Well, it's a good thing Drac has got those flippers, or that money, because he's already got flippers now. They're buried underwater. We got quite a bit of divergence from our 4 runners here.
Okay, I guess picked up a firework somewhere, and I completely missed that. The Frostbite has finally picked up another heart container to stop that health warning.
That was pretty bananas. And we got Drac actually checking Agina's cave. So he's going out of his way to check some different spots our runners normally don't check early. And is just rewarded with a little bit of love. So far, escape, I think I missed the first chest. The second chest was the map. So
I believe the first chest was the red boomerang.
That a red boomerang we got from Uncle. So I'm not sure what So much divergence, it's hard to keep up. The mirror in the back of the well. It's got quite a few items to start off. Still looking for some progression, though. None of those really offer much. Jack
The
gonna
moon
try.
pole is super good to get early, but no means of actually using that moon pole yet. And the
Yeah.
bottle fender had an ice rod.
Which means
Turtle Rock's going to be a pendant.
exactly. All right, what's Mini Moldarm Cave gonna have for us? More cash, and just some more cash.
Jack has got to be feeling pretty bad about that hula hoop now. He's got so much more extra cash.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a time sink. I mean, it's unfortunate, just the fact that there's so much cash out there open in the world.
Korek's going straight into the race game without checking it, whilst Frostbite is going to check it first. And it's 50 rupees.
Was it rupees or arrows? I missed it.
50 rupees.
Oh, okay. Just in case our runners needed more money.
Yeah, Frostbite and Korek haven't discovered the big stashes yet, so the Frostbite is actually passing up now 50 rupees, which is good for him, and Korek's just picking it because he is already there.
I imagine we'll find something here with these flippers since we got them so early. And there's a glove that can be dug up, so the shovel, very useful today. Now we're just one item away from Dark World access. We either need a glove or the hammer.
Indeed. So this is quite a lot of early game items so far, and quite a lot of pokers available. We can't get up to Death Mountain yet because no lamp. I mean, we've got some very skilled runners here that can get up to Death Mountain by sequence breaking with absolutely no problems at all, but it's not quite in logic yet.
Yeah, that's true. Frostbite actually can give us our look at the back of Escape, since he's got the gloves there. We've had so much divergence. We've got silvers and a heart. We've had so much divergence that we've seen so much of the map already. I think logically, what do we have left? Eastern, and then the water checks.
Agino too.
Actually, Drac went to Agina and got the heart container there. So
Oh, okay. It's really hard to keep track of it.
Yeah, they're all over the place, which is fun for us. It's just hard to keep up. So again, make sure you give love to the trackers because our runners are all over the place. And they got to keep up with it even more than we do. All right, Waterfall Fairy gives us the Cane of Samaria and another heart container. So I imagine we'll find our Dark World access either at Zora or Eastern Palace. Maybe a lamp. Because if you sequence break the mountain right now, you're only getting 2 items. It's not really worth that time.
The Frostbite is diving into Hyrule Castle now, and Goomba didn't really find much of worth down there, so this is going to be a bit of a time sink for him. Korek, meanwhile, is doing his self-Hyrule cleanup, and Jaquez has got quite a lot of stuff to go through first, like Kakariko. So at the moment, I'd give the early game advantage to Korek right now, but things could change.
Yeah. Drex still has to make his way over to Kakariko. So it looks like Eastern is going to have some sort of progression for us.
It looks like Jaquez is also going to be diving into Hyrule Castle. Just have to see if Korek decides to follow everyone else down there or go straight to Eastern.
It'll be interesting to see what we find in Eastern. You know, if we find the lamp, that gives us logical access to the items, the couple items on Death Mountain. If we find a glove, that gives us access to the Dark World. Same with the hammer. I can't imagine there has to be one of those 3, unless we find something like the boots, which could unlock a couple items as well.
It could also be the book to get us into Desert Palace.
Yeah, that's true. And I believe there's one item in Dark Cross. We got the key, we got the map, so there's one item left in the dark there. So who's going to be our first runner to make the play towards Eastern? Now, Korek and Frostbite are the only two with the gloves so far, and the Moon Pearl. Because again, Goomba and Drek Harris still need to head to Kakariko and pick up their shovel, pick up their Moon Pearl.
Korek's going to get his Kingdom Samaya shortly, and probably also pay a visit to King Zor, who only had a piece of heart today. Frostbite is about to do his South Hyrule route, and Jacques is most of the way through escape now. I did not see if Goomba checked the Dark Cross room, but that's also in play. Technically not in logic, but they can get there.
Goomba going to pick up his gloves now. I imagine Korek, after this, makes his way towards Eastern, check Sashwal's closet, get those 3 items, which we know aren't anything useful, and then make his way over to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, he's going to be going back to Link's house, and it just depends on what direction he goes to. And he proves me a lie by going to Sanctuary instead.
Yeah, he's going to check the back of Escape. This makes sense. Quick 3 check, then you can save and quit and start from Link's house, head Eastern. It doesn't really feel like an Aga seed yet. I mean, we still need the lamp and either another sword or the cape, but maybe I just cursed them. Who knows? I mean, we could walk into Eastern and find the Master Sword and the lamp, and we'd have Aga access.
Yeah, and if there's something that lets you bypass Aga up Death Mountain, any of our runners would undeniably go through the Dark Cave in Death Mountain to get up there and get an item rather than go all the way through Aga Town.
So all of our runners, have routed this a little bit differently. Do you think anyone has routed it the best so far?
Well, they all kind of rechecking the same things at the moment, so I think Jacques has probably had the worst route so far, simply because of that Houlihan, but considering that all of them are putting off Eastern at the moment, and all of them are rechecking the same things, it's really hard to say who's got the best routing here, because it's really kind of like approaching the same things just from different directions, but it all takes roughly the same amount of time.
Yeah, I think Dracaris having the Houlihan, and then he also checked Agina, which unfortunately for him wasn't anything. He also went to Sashwala's closet, and it looks like he's going to have to make his way to Eastern again, so it's a little bit of unfortunate routing for Dracaris.
And Frostbite's about to get his useless item from the Icerock Cave, and I don't know how much left he's got to check. I don't think he's done Agina's Cave, so there's that. He hasn't got the Kingdom Samaya yet, so he's going to go up and do the Zora area next, probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think either Korek or Frostbite's going to be our first one over to Eastern. I'm guessing it's going to be close. One of those 2 runners are going to have everything else checked first. It started out so fast with everyone moving in different directions. We saw it all happen so quickly. Now we're trying to pick up the pieces.
It's probably going to turn into all 4 runners going for Eastern at the same time eventually.
Yeah, that seems about right. And Korek with the Ice Rod strats, this is great. freezes the guard and uses uses the guard to take out the ball and chain guard. That was great. And actually, Cork's going to give us our first sequence break here. He's going to check out what is in the Dark Cross.
Now, this should be good. It does depend on what item he finds down here. Some of them will be visible in the dark, other times you'll have to check your menu for what he actually found down there.
Yeah, actually, we've got Goomba in the Dark Cross as well. If it's like a sword or a mail upgrade, we won't be able to see it. But both of the runners are heading to the Dark Cross just from different directions.
Kirk's using that red boomerang to try and navigate his way through here. Also stuns anything that might get it in his way, so it's pretty useful for that.
Yeah, and it's just a 20 rupees. All right, so this means Korik gonna make his way towards Eastern Palace. Goomba right behind him. And actually, Drac, even with some of the unfortunate routing, is right behind him as well. Frostbite actually sequence breaking Death Mountain here and is rewarded with a couple bombs. So Frostbite actually giving us our first look at something new.
Yeah, there's a few items he can pick up here. Unfortunately, without the hook shot to all the... Well, he has got a mirror, so he can again get over to Tower of Hair and the east side. So
Yeah, which will give us
quite a lot is available to him.
Yeah, a couple more items here as well.
We know Korak and Goomba are almost in sync in Sahasrara's hut, and they're probably going to be heading over to Eastern now.
Nice little sync we've got going on the right side. A little bit of love and spectacle inside Spectacle Rock. And just in case we hadn't gone to Kakariko, the hint has us make sure we do check the well in Kakariko. Grab that. Very helpful of the hints. All right, so we've got some new checks here, both in Eastern and in Tower of Hera. And we found out that Skull Woods is our green pendant for today. And there are the mitts.
Right, so there is our Dark World access. No Aghanim necessary today. Big key in the basement of Tower of Hera, so Frostbite isn't fire locked here. He can get up to the top.
And gets the very information that race seeds don't have the spoiler logs in case he ever wants to do.
So Goomba, after getting his mitts, has immediately dipped out of Eastern Palace and not going to check the other items they can get in there. They're just going straight to the Dark World.
Actually, EDM in chat, Aga is not required. If the hammer is on Pyramid Ledge, they do have the flipper, so they can just swim over and grab. And a unique item is near Misery Mire, so that's Mire Shed. That could be a number of things.
Another troll hint in the back of Eastern Palace, and Jokez is making his way into there now.
Oh, EDM, that's right. Pyramid Fairy. That would be unfortunate. Half magic in Tower of Hera.
Not a bad find. The earlier you can get half magic, the better, really, because it helps with all those bosses that require magics, like Cold Stare or Trinex or anything else.
Yeah, it is definitely convenient.
So Goomba is headed straight into Skullwood. They're going to make it good use of that cane to immediately get into the back chest here.
Be really interesting to see if we get anything from Hera, or if this was just a total time loss for Frostbite.
Yeah, Kirks are just about to check out the big chest in Easton. And it's just a piece of heart.
Just 20 from Moldorm, so quite a time sink for Frostbite, unfortunately. He does get the half magic, but not any sort of progression.
Entire of Hair isn't too bad as a time sink. The major part of it is usually leaving the basement item behind. And that is the case today because we haven't had a lamp yet. But I haven't seen if he picked up both the map and the compass, so...
Yeah, he got the 2 items from...
Oh, yeah, 2 items, of course. So,
Yep.
yeah, he's got everything. No need to go back.
So he's going to make his way to Eastern and pick up his mitts. Meanwhile, everyone else is going to be making Dark World plays. I don't think Goomba really found anything in Skull Woods. Kork's going to be right behind him, checking out Skull Woods. It looks like Goomba's going to check Graveyard Ledge before heading into the Village of Outcasts. So Link Force in 4 minutes, just 10 arrows so far in Skull Woods. Looks like everything else is fire locked, so fire rod locked, excuse me. Let's see if Graveyard Ledge gives us anything. Just a heart container.
Yeah, a bit of an unusual routing to go to a Graveyard Ledge before checking out the Village of Outcasts, but I suppose if you've got the mirror, you just want to check it out immediately and not have to worry about it later.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you get mirror early, so you see if it what it unlocks, and Graveyard Ledge being what it is, checking it early to see if it is the thing that the mirror unlocks.
I mean, in an ideal world, you'd go and get the boots as well on your way and just check out both the King's Tomb and the Graveyard Ledge, so you might lose a little bit of time checking out both items separately.
That's right. Frostbite picking up his Titan's mitts, and he's going to save himself a little bit of time, just noping right out.
Yeah, Eastern Palace is a crystal, but without the bow or even the lamp to get into the back by logic, it kind of disincentivizes you from checking out the rest of the items there.
Yeah, I think he's probably feeling a little bit behind. Sequence breaking Death Mountain and Hera and not get anything for it, so got to make the gambles in other places. And unfortunately for him, we saw that Eastern doesn't have anything else for him right now.
Defying usual standards to an early access to Dark World with a Thieves Town is actually a crystal today, and Goomba's first item is the Ether Medallion.
And despite getting that Ice Rod early, Turtle Rock is a crystal, and a 5/6 crystal at that.
So we're going to need to find that Fire Rod somewhere.
Let's see. If you're Goomba, do you do all of Thieves Town, or do you just do the first 4 and search for the hammer somewhere else?
I will just clear it out whilst I'm here, because if you've already dived in to get the first 4 items, and you've got tons of health and taking down blind isn't a big... Oh, there is the bow. Well, Goomba is immediately proving me wrong by clearing out, but yeah, he's picked up the bow. It's a great find.
That's great. Yep.
Yeah, usually if I haven't found much of worth in the first 4 chests, I just go over to the rest of the dungeon, clear up blinds. If I get anything along the way, great. If not, then I usually would just leave the big chest as late as possible. There's a decent chance that the big chest is key locking itself anyway, so
Yeah.
much of the time you can't even get to it.
And Frostbite actually making up some time, not dipping into Skull Woods as Korik and Dracaris did. I believe Korik and Dracaris also checked Graveyard Ledge, so Frostbite checks Village of Outcast, the first 4, and also nopes out.
Nothing in the race game, just 3 bombs. Didn't take many digs though, luckily.
So was it 2 items that we found in the first 4 chests of these down? Or 2? We found Ether Medallion and a bow.
Goomba's immediately going to be retrieving the blacksmith, and they're probably going to be taking the purple chest and taking it all the way to the thief outside desert, as well as checking the K45 along the way and with that mirror. So
Yeah,
there are a few things you can do here.
Yeah, this makes sense. The mirror makes routing nice and simple and clean. Meanwhile, Dracaris is actually going to go all the way over to Catfish. Dracaris making some interesting routing decisions and just trying to gamble. Yeah, trying to make some gambles too and see if any of them pay off. So far, they haven't. We'll see if Catfish has got something. What's the grumpy fish going to give us today?
Piece of art.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate if we already cleared out Sora earlier. And the waterfall area did have the Cane of Samaya, so it was necessary, but everything else, not necessary. So just 20 rupees in K45 or the cave south of Grove. It has quite a few names, that place.
Yeah. I think K45 is the fastest name. Just less syllables, I guess. So that's what I go. Old Stumpy with a piece of heart there. So we're coming up on Hype Cave here pretty soon. Probably after Goomba turns in the purple chest. Any predictions on what we might find inside that said Hype Cave?
I've really become pessimistic about Hype Cave in recent versions of the randomizer. All the juicy stuff tends to be found in Paradox Cave these days. So Goomba's actually going to be returning a chest first, rather than just leaving it outside Hype Cave and then coming back for it. And the locksmith only has 3.
All right, with the items that we've had so far, I'm thinking Hype Cave might actually be a little hype.
It'd be really nice to find the lamp there, because then we could just go clear out Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness all in one go.
Well, we still need that hammer.
Oh yeah, true, the hammer, yes. Hammer in Hype Cave?
Hammer and lamp? So far, hints haven't really helped us out today. A couple green ones.
And one redundant one about the Kakariko well.
Yeah, that's right.
I think a redundant hint is... I don't think I've ever seen a seed without a redundant hint in it.
All right, let's see how Hype Cave is. There's a piece of heart. A unique item. 50 rupees, 20 rupees, and boy, was I wrong.
Absolute dud. 0 out of 10. You can't even argue that the cash is any good, because we've paid off Zora. We found a bunch of 300 rupees anyway, and we've still 400 rupees remaining on Goomba's side.
Oh man.
Definite 0 out of 10.
Yeah, that was... Wow, I was wrong.
So Goomba is headed in a strange... Oh, I guess he's going to go up to Catfish.
No, Goomba, is he going to do Catfish?
Yeah, if you take the whirlpool here, it puts you in...
No, I think he's going to check the hint in the rarely seen hint in the dark shopping mall.
extremely rarely seen. I mean, you generally tend to only go in this cave in entrance round. The boots is in plain sight. Well, I guess that's a useful hint.
Desert ledge? So that's a couple places. That's desert ledge, and that is that Ganon's tower as well on the land. Pyramid as well. That's good as well. Floating island. We saw the floating. Oh, we haven't seen the floating island. We saw the island in the lake.
Frostbite decides to go check out the front of Swamp for reasons and got a bee in the bottle.
Yeah, I mean he was banking on Hammer being there, I guess.
Yeah, I see. I know one of our trackers, Linkforce, has actually found a hammer in that chest and put him way ahead of everybody else when he found that hammer.
That's true. Boots cannot be on Ganon's torch. That's right. So that means Pyramid Ledge, the floating island, or desert. One of those we can get to.
Goomba and Frostbite both doing unfortunate checks here, whilst Korek is headed over to Agina's cave. I don't know if we've actually seen the desert ledge yet, so we may be seeing that shortly. Korek's actually damaged himself on the wall there, and he's actually going to kill himself in the cave. So I guess we're not going to be seeing the desert ledge on his side.
Yeah. But we may be seeing the Pyramid Ledge from Frostbite here. I'm not sure why Korek did that.
I'm not sure either. I guess he figured it would be faster than safe and critting, but he got a hard container, so he had to bomb himself a few more times.
You know, I think it's for the... I think he saved his warp point. Yep. So you see his warp spot is right there next to the dam.
Ah, right. A bit of a heads-up play there. Fortunately, there's nothing in the front of the swamp, so it's not going to do him much good. And Frostbite is ignoring the pyramid now, it's just going to go straight into Powers of Darkness.
Yeah, I'm surprised Goomba didn't check it with the hint that he got. I mean, he was the only one that's going to get that hint, probably.
Yeah. I mean, Boots isn't going to help you very much in Powers of Darkness. It doesn't unlock anything as such, it just gets you around faster.
But that's the key. It gets you around faster.
Yes. And we're going to see if Dracaris can actually get those boots on the pyramid and catch up. They may not be there, but if they are...
and this is why we have trackers and why they're so awesome. Linkforce said Goomba did check the pyramid. It was just $50. So...
okay. So I reckon it's got to be floating islands then for the boots. Oh yeah, $50 right there.
Or desert. So the question is, the hammer here? Are we going to find the hammer here?
It's happened before. I've counted at least a couple of times. It's actually been in the vanilla big chest, which is always really rotten. I think the only thing that could be worst thing that can be in that vanilla, be in that big chest, is the bow.
I feel like most of the vanilla items, if you find them vanilla or even French vanilla, is usually pretty.
Frostbite picks up a cane of burner there from the vanilla big key chest. So if he had a hammer, that would get him into Spike Cave, but he doesn't. Oh, that's a useful hint. We're going to find a bombers in here. I guess not so useful because we're already here, but, you know.
Well, that does open up Ice Palace.
And it does tell you that if you, say, like, were to dive in here without the bow and and you hadn't gotten to the last item yet, and it was on the Helmasaur King, then you would know you would need to kill that Helmasaur King to get that bonus.
Yeah.
Does lessen the decrease the chance of actually finding the hammer in here, though.
It's interesting none of our runners completed Thieves Town. I know it's a risk leaving an item back and getting 2 in the front, but not one of our runners decided to full clear or clear as much of Thieves Town as they could. Be really interesting if Thieves Town has the hammer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me personally, the Thieves Town big chest is just one of those ones I just like to forget about as much as possible. If it decides to screw me over, then so be it. I take the hit. But otherwise, I just try and clean out Thieves Town as quickly as possible, as soon as possible.
All right, so we're gonna head into the dark and see if we can find some items here.
Couldn't be starting well, Frostbite already went up to Death Mountain, so he sequence broke a little bit, so we're going to be doing a bit more here.
I think he just opened a key.
Second chest.
Maybe it was either, so the first one probably was the big key or dungeon item, the map or the compass.
Let's check again on Goomba's side.
And there's the hammer.
Well, this hammer and bombers in Palace of Darkness, this is a pretty stacked palace. Unfortunately, I was so intently staying at Goomba's side to see what he picked up on that chest, I didn't see the hammer.
You can see it right now.
Harmless Hellray hammer. That's quite a good bit of alliteration there.
Unfortunately, all runners are going to have to leave because they don't have the lamp. I'm kidding. They're all going to complete this dungeon without the lamp. Yeah. All right, so there's the compass.
I don't think we've seen the map yet. So it's either going to be in this chest or on Amos. Oh, 5 rupees.
There we go. So Armos Knights has the map.
Yeah, and that first chest in the Dark Maze was the Bomber's Medallion, because I saw it on Frostbite's menu.
So what does Hammer give us? Swamp Palace, maybe? A couple chests in Swamp?
Yeah, but
I mean, Thieves Town. I mean, the mountain still isn't in logic yet. And we still don't have access. Oh, actually, now that we've got the hammer, you can mirror up to Hera, and then you got the hammer pigs there. So that unlocks that. Again, not fully in logic. So the question is, where's the lamp? And where's the fleet?
Good full clear. Ice Palace.
Well, that's always fun.
Prospect considering it's a pendant, but
yeah.
Can clear it.
And none of these sound good though. Like none of these options sound great. Like you got to go back and do hammer pigs. I guess Thieves Town with the 2 items there is not a bad idea.
Yeah, you can route in the hammer pegs to finishing off Thieves Town now, and that's a pretty good idea actually. I think that's what I would go for.
See if anyone decides to make that Swamp Palace play. Excuse me, Ice Palace play.
I mean, they could go back in Swamp.
Yeah, I mean, there is a couple more items in Swamp.
I think Goomba checked out the front and Frostbite checked out the front.
Korok and Frostbite checked the item, I think, and Goomba just checked the hint.
Right.
We get our first runner to take on Helmosaur here, and this is actually will be our first crystal 40 minutes in.
Again, it's pretty unusual to get a crystal 40 minutes in, considering how many items we found so far. It's just the kind of the nature of the routing that the seed has taken us through.
Yeah. Basically
pick up everything and then can do a whole bunch at once.
And after Frostbite sequence broke Death Mountain, I would, if I was to guess which of our runners was to be the first to get a crystal, it would not have been Frostbite. And yet here he is.
Yeah, he's actually cleared 2 dungeons now.
Yeah. He stayed away from some of the more obscure checks like Catfish or Gina's Cave, and he didn't go further into Eastern Palace, and that's actually going to reward him a little bit here because he can now go full clear Eastern Palace and after noping out and getting those mitts right away.
The nature of Eastern Palace is that you tend to do a loop around, and if you have to go back in for a double dip, you still have to go over to the left side and doesn't really save you that much time. So doing the full loop around and full clearing it isn't going to it's going to benefit Frostbite quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Having the Silver House is going to be super useful for the Armos Knights. You can just take them all out and...
What's Frostbite doing?
I don't know.
I think he skipped a chest.
He can't have skipped a chest in the front because that had a Titans.
Yeah, I think he skipped the other one. The second chest. I'm not sure which one this is. Maybe the compass chest or something. The map chest. That's going to cost him a bit of time there. All for 20 rupees.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I mean, he had to do it because it would have been an item there and he would have, regretted skipping that.
He was probably thinking, yeah, I can just get into the back with a big key. Oh, wait, no big key. I better go back and check this item before I forget it. Oh, no big key. Now I've got to go back again and do the whole loop.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him.
So this is actually let Goomba get a little bit in front and get further towards that big key and pick it up before Frostbite. And Frostbite was first going into here.
Frostbite gives the hint, the old arrow. We know what he thinks about that.
That arrow actually went straight through the wall there. Is that something to do with a hint tile?
I have no idea. I haven't seen that before. I've never tried to shoot an arrow through a hint tile, so... Alright, so Drek gets his crystal. Kork on his way back to face Helmosaur. And Goomba will be the first to Armos Knights.
If our timing is right, we're going to have all 4 of our runners in Eastern Palace at the same time.
So there's no more... That's all 3 items in Eastern, so... Aside from the mitts, just get a heart piece and a little bit of money. All right, Goomba gets the key from the guard there and makes his way up, navigating that dark room pretty expertly.
If you don't stir that dark room off the top of your head, things can get out of control pretty quickly for the tentacle monsters in there and the Igor running around. Pretty much want to activate the Igor and kill it immediately, otherwise you're going to get pretty lost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty simple dark room, but can get hairy quickly.
As we're seeing on Frostbite's side right now. Oh, yeah, he left the room to go reset it.
And blink and you miss it, Goomba's going to take out the Armos Knights with those silver arrows.
We've got 3 of our runners all stuck in dark rooms right now.
Yeah. Enjoy our restream. And the beeps are back.
Oh no!
Oh, unfortunately, Frostbite takes a death there. That's too bad.
At least we didn't have to listen to the low beep for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Frost is not happy. All right, so where's Goomba gonna head? Is he gonna sequence break anything, or is he just gonna go do Thieves Town? Be really interesting to find out where the lamp or that flute is to give us access to Death Mountain. Logically, we don't. These runners don't necessarily need the lamp, as they have proven. But it'd be interesting to know where it is. And he actually is going to sequence break Death Mountain here. So we'll get our first look at the eastern side of Death Mountain, both light and dark world.
So if Goomba decides to stop by Tower of Hera, it's going to waste a little bit of time and let Frostbite catch up a bit after that unfortunate death. Thanks to that unfortunate death, though, Dracaris has actually gotten ahead of Frostbite now.
All right, Frostbite makes it through.
He picked up the key, so he just had to make his way on the left side and go up the stairs without faffing about with killing stuff. So Goomba's headed up to the top of Death Mountain, and Dracaris is headed back into Dark World by Thieves Town, so I imagine he's going to be checking out Hammerpeg Caves and finishing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a play I would have done.
You can full clear Thieves Town, don't have to worry about the big key chest anymore. You got the hammer. Let's
Hammer
see.
was in the harmless hellway in Palace of Darkness, so you didn't need the lamps to get there, so it could actually be in the big chest in Thieves Town.
Yep. It could also, yeah, it could. Lamp definitely could
happy.
Be. slashes abound. Yeah, the hammer was not lamp locked, so we could find the lamp anywhere that the hammer is locking. Let's see how far Goomba decides to go in here. He gets the big key. He's going to check the next chest. Let's see if he goes up or not.
And Frostbite has gone back to Link's house. Is he going to go to Swarm? No. He's going to get another red potion. Okay. At least I assume that's why he was releasing the gold beater.
Is he going to Ice Palace? That's the only reason I could think of him grabbing some potions.
Looks like he is.
I like it. He's making the gambles. He, after that death, after the Hera climb, he's definitely got to be feeling behind. So, making the gambles when he have. Actually, Ice Palace is in logic. We've got the Bombos medallion. We've got the flippers.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we can full clear this, although it's a pendant, so yeah. It's an icky prospect. The ice vault can be brought.
Okay, so if we got the Bombos in the dark, the only thing that means is we're not going to find the lamp in here, but I mean, it could still have other progressive items. And Goomba going all the way. He's got his half magic, and he's going to kill Moldorm as well. I missed the item upstairs on Thieves Town that Dracaris got.
I was not looking at the time, so I missed it too.
Okay, so
anything important for.
Yeah. Again, shout out to our trackers, Compass and Thieves Town.
another bee in the bottle in the Blind's chest.
And we got the key, so
Check out the big chest. And big chest was a map. So
not even
waiting
needed.
for the hammer was useless.
Yeah. And Goomba's actually giving us our look what medallion we need for Turtle Rock here. It is the Quake medallion, the one that we do not have.
Yeah, now watch Misery Maya be Quake as well. Retrievers love fetch quests. Okay, that's a new joke. I haven't seen that one before. I've played a few randomizer seeds since the latest version of the randomizer. I haven't seen any new jokes yet from Blind.
I believe there are some. I'm not sure. Usually when I'm running it, I don't pay attention to what he says. We've got a Master Sword in Paradox Cave.
Absolutely necessary if you want to be finishing the race and kill Ganon.
And did you see what Blind was carrying? Which would have been a useful item a while ago? That, my friend, was the flute.
Oof. Big oof.
So that means...
He can just mirror right out and activate it immediately.
Which means the lamp could be somewhere here on the Dark Death Mountain. Yeah, I don't know if Dracarius got the hint, but there is a unique item in Mire Shed, so we'll see if he heads that way.
It's not too appealing right now, because you don't have any way of getting into Misery Mire. I mean, sure, you could have the medallion, but you don't have the boots or the hookshot to get across the pit. And you can't go clear Desert Palace either, because you don't have the lamp or fire rod, so I don't think he's going to be headed that way for a while yet. But in Super Bunny Cave, we have bombs and rupees. Now, given how the Dracaz was behind for quite a long time, given the general routing and what runners have been through, I'd actually give Dracaz the advantage right now. Korak actually isn't far behind because he's going to get his flute shortly. And Goomba is also headed into Ice Palace.
Oh man, Thieves Town, guys. Thieves Town's where you want to go.
I mean, Ice Palace is a horrible place to begin with, and the pendant is just... Yeah, why would you go here over finishing off a crystal dungeon? I don't understand it.
I think it's like recency bias. I feel like there's a lot of times where you'll play a bunch of seeds and Ice Palace will have items, especially in a pendant dungeon. And so you get the feeling like, oh, a pendant Ice Palace always has items.
We haven't seen all the items in here yet, so we can't quite count it out. Oh, Frostbite's not happy with that piece of heart.
Yeah, Frostbite hasn't been happy about a lot of things in this run. Let's see if Dracarius heads to the Mire area now. He does. Desert Ledge, is it the boots? It is the boots. Just sitting out in the open the whole time. Nobody checked it. All right, we're going to find out what that unique item is in Mire Shed. Meanwhile, Cold Stare gets to do... Oh, jeez.
Oh, well, there was a lamp in the Mire Shed.
Hilarious. That is hilarious.
So this siege could have been so much faster if our runners had actually gone and committed to Thieves Town.
If everyone just had not noped out of Thieves Town, they would have got the lamp and made all of this so much quicker. But that actually puts Dracarys in the lead, I would say. And Frostbite, unfortunately, taking a death there to Coldster, despite having those potions.
Yeah, this has not been pleasant for Frostbite at all. A bit of a menu frustration there. Just have to see if Goomba has any more luck with Coldster. He's got quite a bit more health, and although he's also a blue male like Frostbite, so
he's got a
and see.
Master Sword, which is, I know it's not a lot better, but it is better than.
We saw a stairs clip there.
Yeah, that's great.
Saves you like 1 or 2 seconds, but it's always fun to see.
It's cooler than anything. That's why it's cool. It just is cool.
Cool tricks for a cool palace.
And there we've got the Quake Medallion as well. So we've got access to Meyer. All right, so we're in Hookshot Fire Rod Go mode. So Fire Rod could be Misery Mire, as well as the Hookshot. I'm not sure if Goomba checked. Did he check Super Bunny Cave while he was up there? He must have.
He did. It was just bombs and rupees.
Oh, okay.
So Frostbite's only really going to get the Master Sword from here, which is essential, but not really what he's looking for.
Yeah, so Goomba and Frostbite, both of our runners to dip Ice Palace, really needed to head to that Crystal Thieves Town first. Let's just put Dracarys and Korak in a much more advantageous spot.
Yeah, they were kind of on the back footing for the first part of this race, and now they really got the lead here. Oh, that was a Mushroom in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, which I don't think Goomba checked. Dracarys able to, I think, 2-cycle Land Molus with the silver arrows there.
Just gets 20 rupees, but another crystal for his troubles instead of, Penton Coldster.
Yeah, I imagine he now does Misery Mire since he's right there.
Goomba has actually ducked out of Ice Palace now, so he is headed over to Thieves Town.
That's good for Goomba. I imagine Frostbite heads that way as well. After clearing out as much of the mountain as he can.
Frostbite blowing himself up on some bombs there. Not even going for a death reset like Korak did much earlier.
Yeah.
He's Plague Knight, he likes explosions. I imagine he's particularly frustrated and really likes explosions right now. It's not been a fun seed for him so far.
Yeah. Frostbite and Goomba made that play into Ice Palace because they got the Bombos Medallion. The reason they got that Bombos Medallion is he needed it for Misery Mire. So it made a little sense as to why they'd want to dip ice, but unfortunate for them, Ice Palace didn't yield anything.
I mean, Bomber's access into Ice Palace, especially Pendant Ice Palace, is one of those kind of a not so obvious logical quirks that you think, ooh, perhaps there is a really juicy item in here, and I'm going to use this not too famous trick to get inside and get the item, but not today. But with that lamp, there's boots, cane of some mud, and mirror jokers, and Korak could be clearing out Misery Mire. Although Korak's going for the checkerboard cave first. Yep. Just 20 rupees.
Yeah. And the first two items in Mire, I believe, were a key and the map. Let's see what what we can find. Just 2 items away.
Another small key in the vanilla big key chest. So Duquesne is probably headed over to the cutscene chest after this one. Ooh, Frostbite is headed over to Spy Cave.
Okay, yeah, that could give us something. Jack gets the big key.
And he's ignoring the cutscene for now. Ugh.
First time was 20 rupees in Misery Mire. Oh, wow. That is huge.
Hookshot. Hookshot in Spy Cave.
All right, my friend, we're 1 item away from no mode.
Well, if a Firewall is somewhere in Swamp Palace, that puts Frostbite right back in the game.
Yeah, that is interesting. So he's actually gonna go clear out Swamp before he does Thieves Town. Again, unfortunate because he's missing out on boots and the flute there. And I missed it. Did we see both items in Misery Mire?
I'm not sure. Duquesne definitely missed a cutscene chest, and I didn't see what was in the big chest. I imagine he probably just wants to get Vitreous done, and then if he gets his item there, then he'll just skip the cutscene. And to be honest, everyone wants to skip the cutscene.
Yeah, and Link Force filling this in. Money for both items in Misery.
Okay.
Again, big shout out to our trackers today. Link Force Zero, literally Jen, doing an awesome job keeping us in line because we get so excited when we see something like Hookshot, and they're able to maintain themselves and track the items that we need to be tracked.
And then we don't pay attention and we slap up.
Yes, yeah. So big shout out to them. The two best trackers in the game. All right, so this Vitreous fight's gonna go really quick, and it's already over for Dracarys with those silver arrows.
Yeah, there's that compass. And there's a 50 rupees in the big chest. So it's all dependent on where that firewall is now. If the firewall is in here and it's like on the left side, then this is really, really good for Frostbite. If it's not
Yes.
and firewall somewhere else, then it's not that great for him because I don't think he's going to be missing the left side because he's missing quite a few items compared to our other runners, given that he's missed Thieves Town for quite some time now.
Yeah, he's gonna kick himself when he realizes putting off Thieves Town was the big mistake here. So Jack's got to make the play for Spike Cave, and he'll be in go mode, which he might do now that he hasn't been up to the mountain at all.
Interestingly, Frostbite skips the chest in the south to the south and is just going straight to Argus already.
He's a gambling man today, with the couple deaths that he's had and some of the routing choices that he's made that just hasn't worked out. I feel like he's thinking he's got to make some gambles.
Okay, King's Tomb was 300 rupees, and it's good for Dracarys that he's making an outright check like this because he's going to have Spike Cave at the back of his mind.
Just a couple dungeon items there in the sunken room.
The key is good for him if he decides to go back into the dungeon.
Just a couple bombs from the bonk rocks. So far the boots haven't unlocked anything other than Desert Palace.
Korak also finishes Vitreous and have to see where he goes now. Oh, Jukez is checking out the Lumberjack, which we saw a few of our runners do much earlier, but we know it was just a bug net. And now Goomba's going to be also, oops, it bugs a bit there, but it's going to be for finishing up Desert. He's basically behind Korak and Jukez now, but not significantly so.
Yeah, it's going to come down to who makes the play for Spike Cave first between Korak and Dracaris. Or even Goomba. Goomba's still riding it. Shoot, if Frostbite finds the Fire Rod here soon and then goes and does the East Town, he could be right back in it as well.
As much as I'm loath to say it, I think the best thing for Kirk and Dracaris would be for Fire Rod to be in Turtle Rock somewhere. And Rod and Turtle Rock is never a good thing. One of the first races I ever commentated both Fire Rod and Ice Rod on Laser Bridge.
Oh, jeez. It's very rare for a Fire Rod to be in Turtle Rock, but it can happen and is unfortunate.
Yeah, Turtle Rock, when you're going in there without the Fire Rod, is basically a case of how deep does the rabbit hole go? How many keys can you find and keep going down the rabbit hole before you eventually get blocked by something because there's a key locked by the Fire Rod?
Yeah. Frostbite with the Ice Rod strats on Argus, that was pretty nice. You don't see that often because the Fire Rod blasts or beams are a little awkward compared to the Fire Rod blasts or beams, but it worked out really well.
So Frostbite is headed back into Swamp to check out all the chests that he left behind, and he's got the big chest. He's also got the chest to the south, which he skips, which you don't often see. Before you usually see people check this out, even when they're going straight to Argus.
Yep.
Goomba did Desert Palace before Maya, so yeah, he's still got to do Maya. So 3 bombs there. I did see Frostbite pick up the map earlier. I don't think he's picked up the compass yet. Oh,
Well,
there's a compass.
there it is.
2 items on the left side.
Yeah.
Duquesne and Korak are both doing their Death Mountain clears now. And they could be headed into Turtle Rock after this.
If they do, I imagine one of them, or if not both of them, route in Spike Cave with all of this. It's good routing because you're able to do all of Death Mountain at once. With the exception of Hookshot Cave.
Korak has just taken the portal to Tower of Hera and is running past the Tower of Hera, but he didn't check out Spike Cave.
Yeah, I imagine that would probably be his last check. Because you have to save and quit out of there usually.
Yeah.
They're both going to pick up their Master Swords. We've been really light on swords this run. I wonder where the other 2 are.
It would be super nice to find Tempered at some point, but our runners are really skilled. They can do Master Sword spins on Ganon.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're lacking heart containers or mail for Ganon, so it shouldn't really pose much of a problem.
Yeah,
would greatly help.
Exactly. They got silver arrows, so. No shields. We haven't found a shield yet either.
Shields is just one of those weird things where if you don't find the cape or the...
Oh, no.
Oh, there's another sword in Hookshot Cave.
Did you see? Frostbite just found the Fire Rod.
Okay, so Frostbite has got to head over to Thieves Town as soon as possible, and then he's in go mode.
Oh, wow.
Where's Quake again?
Quake, I believe, was right next to Meyer. Somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It was in Desert. It was in Desert.
Yeah, so he'll get on his way. So he's headed in the wrong direction now.
Did you see what he did, though? He got the Fire Rod and hook shot it over to do the other chest, but forgot to hit the pegs, the orange orange pegs, and wasn't able to check the last chest in the Swamp Palace. I mean, we know it's not anything as far as progression go, but he still hasn't found a couple of items. And unfortunately for Frostbite, he still is not heading to Thieves Town. All right, so Spike Cave is the play into Swamp. And you got to do the left side because that's where the fire rod is. And we've got ourselves another sword in the first chest in the Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Korak picked it up a bit. Well, not Korak.
Jack was.
Korak picked it up.
Oh, Court.
Yeah,
okay.
He's got Master Sword now.
Okay, I was so focused on that fire rod in Swamp Palace, I missed that one.
He hasn't cleared out Paradox Cave yet, so he still doesn't have Tempered yet. But
he'll get that.
For Ganon, that is a nice loadout.
Yeah, makes it easy with as many hearts and everything they've got. Silver arrows.
Oh, now the Chaos is headed into Turtle Rock, and this isn't going to work for him.
Well, he's at least opening it. We'll see how far he goes into Turtle Rock.
True. But I'm super worried for Frostbite. Frostbite didn't open Turtle Rock, so I really hope he's going to pass it up and go to.
Well, he has to go to Desert to get the Quake Medallion to open up Turtle Rock.
Yeah, of course he can't even open it. At least he'll get Tempered here. Not a total waste of time, but could be faster. So many things could be faster.
We got Red Mail as well. Our first shield. And the blue boomerang. All right, so...
Wait. Oh yeah, of course. Korak and Jackass did not have the hookshot to do.
That's right. They need to go to Spike Cave. Oh, unfortunately for Korak, he actually left the mountain. So Frostbite, I believe, is going to be our first runner in Go mode.
Depends on when he gets into Thieves Town, but he's in the right area.
I think he's heading there now. Mushroom's just a heart container.
Ooh, this race has been back and forth.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely fantastic.
All right, so Goomba's finished up with Misery Mire. He'll probably make his way towards the mountain as well. Let's see if he decides to do Hookshot Cave. Oh, unfortunately for Korak, Korak's actually going to go and complete Ice Palace as well now.
Oh, no. And he's got much better equipment, so he could actually finish it. It's not going to work out for him at all. Yeah, this actually hinges quite a lot on where Goomba goes next. If he goes up to Spike Cave and gets that hookshot, he could well be in Go mode ahead of Frostbite, because he's got quite a bit of a dungeon advance now. And unfortunately for Frostbite, he's going to do his Skullwars checks. Not going to take him too much time, but it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, it's a little unnecessary. It is a crystal, so he has to do it.
No, it's a pendant. It's green pendant.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's green. Oh no, go Frostbite! Come on, man, head into Thieves Town. I don't know why he's avoiding Thieves Town as hard as he is. It's interesting. It is crystal. There's 2 items there.
And he's even got the hammers to check out all the items in there. I mean, I can understand skipping clearing out Thieves Town when you don't have a hammer, but at this point, just go do it. It's a crystal. There's a bunch of items in there.
Come on, Frost. Everyone send their good thoughts to Frostbite to head into Thieves Town and put him in the right direction. Our other 3 runners, all they need to do is head into Spike Cave, grab that hook shot, and then make their way to the left side of Swamp. I make it sound so easy, but none of those decisions are easy.
Yeah, Goomba's doing his boots checks first in Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Boots out. Where is he going to go?
The only person that got the boot hint was Goomba, and that boot hint was in Dark Shopping Mall, which is the rarely seen hint check.
Goomba's headed in the right direction. Although he doesn't have the tempered sword yet, so he obviously hasn't done hookshot. He's taking the correct portal.
Yeah, I don't think... Is he going to do...
He's going for fairy. He's going for fairy. He's going in.
All right. This is good for Goomba.
Meanwhile, on Frostbite side, he's just gone and got the green pendant. Why? Oh man, I think Frostbite's going to be kicking himself for the rest of the day. He's already been kicking himself for most of the seed. The frustration has been real.
All right, so of all of our runners, I think Goomba is now in the lead.
He was super pessimistic about his chances in IRC. So hey.
The Dark Shopping Mall is the area where the Ice Rod is, the Ice Rod Cave, but in the Dark World.
Now Jacques is back in South Dark World. Is he? Oh is he
No,
going to
he's
go
gonna.
into Swamp Barrel Hook Shot?
Yeah, he's gonna go find. He's gonna go find his fire rod. So that's good. We got a little sink going on the bottom here.
Jacques did Turtle Rock clear without the fire rod, and now he's doing Swamp Palace clear without the hook shot.
All right, so
this is a lot of double dips for him.
So Goomba's is of the four runners or four restream runners is probably in the lead with that hook shot. The question is, does he skip the left side swamp? He's been in Ice Palace. I can't imagine him skipping left side swamp because that would mean going up to Turtle Rock without the fire rod.
Yeah, and hoping you find the fire rod there.
Yeah.
And since you're already at Swamp Palace, you may as well do the left side anyway, just in case it's here. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good chance Goomba is going to be our first runner in go mode. Meanwhile, I've not been paying attention to Kirk at all because he's finishing Ice Palace. Oh, but he's mirroring out and not getting a pendant, so
yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, so let's see where he has. He might make the same play as Dracarys and head over to Swamp looking for the hook shot on the left side. We'll see if he heads back up to Spike Cave.
If Frostbite had actually killed Coldstay earlier, he would have all three pendants by now, and he could have gone for a blind pull.
All right, so Korik is actually making the play, I believe, towards... He's either going to do Hera, because he skipped Hera, or he's going to do Hera and Spike Cave, I imagine.
I think Hera into Spike Cave is quite likely. Alright, Frostbite is finally headed back into Fuse Town. I just think most of our runners could have done this at 25 minutes into the seed. And all of them put it off for so long.
Yes, they did. That bow, the bow was what drew them out more than anything.
So yeah, Korek's going to do Tower of Hair first and then check out Spike Cave afterwards. I mean, there's a chance he may not check out Spike Cave, and that would be extremely bad for him, but there's really no reason why he would. He's going to get a full health refill after Moldorm anyway if he chooses to finish Moldorm, so...
So on the initial go, Goomba's skipping left side. That makes sense. In case you find the fire rod on the way. We'll see if he jumps back in.
So Jacques is headed over to the left side now. This is good for him. It's still bad for him because he doesn't have the hookshot and can't finish the dungeon, but it's one check that he needs to do.
Yeah, that might send him to places that he doesn't need to go, like Skull Woods or Ice Palace. So
Let's hope not. Let's hope not for his sake. He's already double dipped. He's already forcing enough double dips as it is.
All right, so Drac picks up his fire rod and is going to take a look at the other item.
Can't hookshot across because no hookshot.
Yeah.
Also can't mess up the hammer pegs either this way, like Frostbite did. So, hey, we'll see the other item in here. Could be Gold Sword.
It definitely could be. All right, we get Goomba gets to take on Argus here. You know,
Just 20 rupees.
You know, it'd be interesting, depending on the location of the other sword, Goomba might be doing this with just Master Sword.
Well, like, if he's going into, like, Turtle Rock and then headed over to Ganon's Tower, Hookshot Cave is a really quick check, and he can get his Tempered Sword super quick in there. It's like, it takes you just less than a minute to go get yourself a really advantageous item for Ganon's Tower, so it's well worth making the check, even if you're already in Go mode.
Yeah.
If you're on Master Sword.
I'm just saying it's possible that it's not. He doesn't. Korok picks up their hookshot, so they'll be heading to Swamp Palace now. And it looks like Drac. Where's Drac heading?
I think he's going to finish off Turtle Rock now.
Goomba just left. Oh no.
Okay, so Korok has to pick up the fire rod on the left side. And then he's going to be the one in Go mode.
Oh no.
My. Oh my.
Oh no. So, Frostbite picks up their flute at the 1 hour and 21 minute mark. They'll be able to pick up their boots. They'll get their Quake medallion and will be in Go mode shortly.
He's so far behind on crystals, though. I don't see how he's going to catch up, even with our runners making such questionable choices right now.
So now I actually think Korok is in the lead.
It really depends on if he decides to skip left side or not. I mean, if he decides to skip left side, then he's in the exact same spot as Goomba. But a few minutes behind, of course. If he gets that fire rod, then he is ahead.
Frostbite's going to be upset when he sees the boots on the desert ledge here. We might see some slashes.
We've already seen a lot of slashes from him.
All right, so Goomba will be picking up their Tempered Sword now, so that whole conversation was mute.
Okay, well, Goomba didn't head into Turtle Rock. This is very, very good, but we really hope for his sake that he doesn't go back in there. Fortunately, he's already reset the dam by leaving, so if he goes back to the South Dark World, he's going to have to flood the dam again and refill Swamp Palace and get back in there. It takes time. Time he could have avoided.
Let's see if Korok actually does the left side first.
But yeah, Goomba is headed into Turtle Rock. Oh dear.
And Frostbite, instead of checking the desert ledge or desert, decides, I'm going to clear Mire first. Not the worst play, it's just unfortunate for him.
Yeah, because everybody else went over into Mire without the hookshot. He's got the hookshot.
Oh boy. So now that's going to make his desert ledge check even worse. All right, so Korok skips it on the left side swamp. I don't think he'll skip the left side.
Cape in the big chest in Turtle Rock.
So, if you've enjoyed what you've seen here, make sure you give these runners a follow. They've put on an awesome show. The Seed has been a blast to watch, and it's been really, really great. So, and we can do this about these guys. So make sure you follow the runners here and give them their love that they deserve.
Absolutely. All of these guys run a lot of rando, and Though it may not seem like it, considering all the things they've skipped, they are really, really good at the game. Far better than the likes of, say, myself, for example.
Right. Join me in that camp.
I don't stream. I don't stream my own randos. I try and save myself an embarrassment.
I stream. It's just bad and embarrassing. So if I was smart, I wouldn't be streaming. All right, with that tempered sword, the Argus fight for Korak is a lot quicker.
With a silver as this one shot, anyway.
So there is 2 items on the left side of Swamp. I imagine Korak makes his way back.
Frostbite has his big key, and he has the potential to waste lots of time here by going for the cutscene chest that neither other runs have gone for. And yes, he's going for the cutscene chest. Oh, this has not been Frostbite's game at all. I feel so sorry for the guy.
It's weird. He's made some like really excellent decisions and great gambles, and then some questionable ones at the same time. But that's rando. I mean, that is totally why you play this game. Is you make the choices that you make, and you hope that they're good ones. And some of them have been good for Frostbite, and some of them have been bad. But he's gonna watch this back and, wish he did some of the things that he probably normally would have done.
Meanwhile, Korak is doing the correct thing. He's going to left side. He's going to be our first runner in go mode. It's actually really funny because I've not been paying much attention to Korak at all for most of his race because he's always been like one step behind most of our races. He's been, like most of the things that Jaquez did, like Desert Palace and Misery Mire before other runners, Korak was right behind him, and then when it came to other checks, he was right behind the other runners. But considering he's been a bit more consistent with his checks, he's going to be the first one in go mode.
Yeah, I think a big thing is he hasn't skipped anything. He's just cleared out everything consistently. His execution is so good that he's not really making gambles. He's just efficiently routing and going to the places that the items lead him to. It's been really good.
Yeah, I think the thing that has let Frostbite and Goomba down here is their gambles and have not paid off. And Korak, whilst he's spent a bunch of time doing things like Hero or Ice Palace, which were completely unnecessary, didn't need to go in those dungeons at all, he made those checks and he's made all the other checks. He's not missed anything, and that's why he's going to be our first runner in go mode.
So, Dracarys left the mountain again without checking Spike Cave. I'm not sure where he's going next. And
He's
Korak,
Bomber's tablet.
Okay. Korak is actually in go mode now, so he'll be able to go mode Turtle Rock. And I wasn't really paying attention to Turtle Rock. I'm not sure if Laser Bridge is skippable or not, but we'll see.
I didn't see the keys they had heading towards Laser Bridge. It's not a big problem anyway, because runners have all got the Cane and Burner to get past Laser Bridge. I think Goomba probably cleared it out and got nothing for his troubles. And now he's going to be doing a bunch of isolated checks that he hasn't done yet because no Fire Rod. It is on the left side of Swamp.
Yeah, unfortunately for both Dracarys and Goomba, each one of them are missing one item, and the other runner has that item. So Goomba's got the hook shot, Jack has got the fire rod. And, it's funny is we've got the ALTTPR League coming up, and Dracarys and Goomba are teammates, and their team name is actually the Last Locationers. So they're living up to the name here.
Oh yeah, we've got Pyramid Fair coming up. A completely useless Pyramid Fair, but a Pyramid Fair nonetheless. Meanwhile,
Nice.
Frostbite takes out Vitreous with silver arrows, and he's going to be getting his boots very shortly, and I think we're going to see rage manifest in some kind of form. Honestly, when I'm really, really angry with the seed, I break out the Quaker Battalion. There's a good chance he could to get that Quaker Battalion before the boots.
Drac is rewarded with Butter Sword in the Pyramid Fairy.
Vanilla Sword.
So it looks like Goomba will probably be our second runner in go mode as they're making their way towards Left Side Swamp now.
Yeah.
Frostbite at an hour 30 gets his boots and is going to head into the desert, pick up Quake, and they'll be in go mode. And I think Dracarius is not heading towards Spike. He's going to go do Skull Woods first.
Wasn't Quake in Mire Shed?
No, the lamp was in Mire Shed. The Quake is on the east side of the desert.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I knew an item was in Mire Shed. I was just suddenly thinking it was the Quake Medallion.
I think we called Dracarius in the lead pretty early, and then that skipping out in Spike Cave and just has really, really been.
It's actually Dracarius is in the last place to begin with because he spent some time on the Houlihan play that nobody else did.
Our tracker's a myth right now.
Okay, there's the Quake. And yeah, that is a lot of rage slashes there on Frostbite. Honestly, I don't blame him.
Yeah, especially because all of these items could have been had super early.
So yeah, that puts Frostbite in go mode now. Just a tiny bit behind Goomba's go mode.
All right,
he's still got to finish off. He's going to have to finish off Desert, so Goomba's going to get back in front.
Yeah, his tracker will be updated soon. He did complete Mire, so he's not gonna be too far behind Goomba.
Oh, poor Drac is taking on Mothula meanwhile. We saw Frostbite doing this. He almost got the blind ped pool if not for dying on Cold Stare. Meanwhile, Kovac is making his own way through Turtle Rock, and go mode Turtle Rock isn't that much faster than normal Turtle Rock, so...
yeah, he's still going to have to do Laser Bridge, or he's going to find that last key. Oh no, he's got the last key. Never mind, no Laser Bridge.
So Goomba still has quite a lot of Turtle Rock to go through, even though he already did it, so... he's a couple minutes behind Kovac at this point.
Well, chat got their pedestal check, just some cash.
Kovac doesn't quite have enough of a time lead yet to really say that, oh, well, of course, Goomba's got to do the right side first with the fire rods to get a key. Okay. It could still come down to Ganon's Tower routing here, but there's a very good chance that Kovac's going to be in first place here on our restream.
Yeah, we're not going to announce anybody off that's not on the restream, so we'll let you know as soon as one of our runners finish what place they finish. But we're going to keep our focus here on our 4. And as you said, Goomba's not that far behind. I mean, it would take some unfortunate routing on Korik's part, but it could happen. The real race actually might be between Frostbite and Goomba and their routing.
Frostbite's heading up to Turtle Rock now. And Dracarius is going to be headed somewhere, but where?
He's going to go turn in that green pendant.
Yes. Oh, poor Drac could be going in circles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to. We're gonna run the big key game. We got Korak on the way to GT right now. Get your guesses in 1 through 22. Where you think that the Gannon Tower big key is? It's not the official game, but get your guesses in. Could be anywhere. Ocelot, where do you think it's?
I always go with 19. Back when the tournament was running, 19 actually gave me quite a lot of successes. I'm a big
Nice.
fan of Ice Almos.
I don't think I've ever picked it right, but I'm gonna go with Bob's Chest. So get your guesses in until now. Winner gets something nice and shiny and imaginary. All right, so Cork's going to go left immediately. The first chest is going to be the key on the lamp. So
Rip
number
Bob.
1 is gone. And yeah, correct. Bob is dead. So you might see Dark Magician strats here from Korak. Number 2, our map. Number 3, 3 bombs. Number 4 is a key. Number 5 is the shield. And he is going to Dark Magician it.
We had to do some unorthodox routing that could potentially not work out at all at some point.
How about number 6?
Okay, so you could save yourself about a minute here by going straight to the right side and finding that big key, although I didn't see if the other chest was a small key. You do need one small key when ascending up the tower, otherwise you're going to potentially be in a lot of trouble when you get to the top.
Congratulations, Fluffy Mittens, guessing number 6. You get a lifetime supply of watching Randomizer on Speed Gaming. Congratulations. If you want to see someone execute Ganon's Tower expertly, Korak is somebody to watch. Gonna make the gauntlet look really, really easy, and the gauntlet can be pretty tough, even with tempered sword and silvers, half magic.
We've got Dracaris taking down Moldorm now. I'm not sure why. He already saw the pet was couch cash.
Yeah, the last item is on Moldorm, actually.
Oh yeah, of course, yes.
But he will be heading to Spike Cave after this, I imagine.
I really hope so. Yeah, he's headed back to the portal. He's finally going to get that hook shot.
Goomba picks up their 7th crystal and is going to make their way towards Ganon's Tower. Frostbite and TR as well. Going to be finishing that up here really soon. And Drac going to be hitting go mode here in about 30 seconds.
Frostbite remembers to take the... he's got the keys. Well, at least he... yeah, he's got one small key, so he can get into the... Actually, do you need a small key for the next door? Oh, yeah, you do. So he's going to gamble on his last small key being on Laser Bridge. And skip the big chest.
Yeah,
And he's done a lot of gambles this season so far. So
the gamble pays off. He doesn't have to do Laser Bridge there.
Oh yeah, of course he had 2 small keys. Okay, never mind. So yeah, he skips the big chest and saves himself a little bit of time, which he really badly needs.
Oh man, I think Goomba's game froze on him.
Oh no. Yeah, we've lost audio. Oh, that's going to be bad for him. When did he last save and crit?
Probably a while ago. Oh, that's really unfortunate for Goomba. All right. Meanwhile, Korak makes his way through Ganon's Tower, already finishing the gauntlet up.
Okay, Goomba's back in Mountain Cave. He has hookshot. I think he has to go to Turtle Rock again.
Major props if he continues on with this, because there's no way I would.
In IRC, he says his game first, but he hasn't taken the forfeit. So yeah, he's going to finish this out.
Yeah, get your love in for Goomba there. That's just really unfortunate. Meanwhile, Frostbite finishes off Trinex there, and Korok taking on Moldorm 2.
No Troll Dorms today. He takes down the second Moldorm with the greatest of ease. Well, for a second there, I thought he was going to go for Hover.
It kind of
Take
looked
a
like
couple
it.
of dashes.
All right, Frostbite makes his way towards Turtle Rock. Goomba gonna do Frostbite towards GT. Goomba gonna do Turtle Rock again. Send out your love and support for Goomba there. As meanwhile, Korok take on Aga 2. Oh, and misses all 3 shots there.
That was just a single. So 0-1. Another single.
Another single.
Oh.
Good placement here, though. Nice triple.
0-1-1-1-3. So Frostbite goes to right side immediately, gets a fire shield as well as a big key. He's got to find a small key first, so he's headed to the left. Of course, we know that small key in the torch, so he's just going to be headed straight up.
Yep. And Korok, first row runners to confront Ganon and share his thoughts and feelings on what he's done with Hyrule.
Well, Frostbite actually went into the next room and picked up the small key from the pots, just so he doesn't have to do things like kill Helmosaurs later. It says, oh, Korok takes a death straight away to Ganon. Does he have a fairy? I don't think we picked up any borders for fairies, and yeah, he's down. Well, maybe that was deliberate. Was he on low health going into this?
I missed that one. Okay, chat was saying it was deliberate.
Yeah, I thought so.
Was able to one cycle the first round, one cycle the second, and is already on
Very
third
nice.
phase. Yeah. Just a couple more slashes here from Korok, and then he gets to pop 4 of his 6 remaining arrows into Ganon's back.
The silver arrows and the bow have basically been the great diversion for this seed. Oh, he misses the torch glitch, but that's not a big deal because he's got half magic and silvers.
Yeah, this doesn't even need it. Almost a triple. 4th arrow in. Down goes Ganon. Get your GGs in chat. We'll announce a time here in just a second.
He's just got one thing to do, and that's make it across the bridge.
Good game, Mr. Korok. Ocelot, you got the times?
I do indeed. Korok has finished in 7th place overall with an official time of 1 hour, 43 minutes and 22 seconds. So get your GGs in chat for Korok. And we've been saying for a while now that this seed could have been done a lot faster, and that has proven to be the case, because I can tell you in first place with a time of 1 hour 35 minutes and 2 seconds was Castimone, and we got Macanex in 2nd place and Wes in 3rd place, followed by Humbug, Aki Drizzt, and Lin.
Get your GGs in. This was an awesome seed to watch. Not necessarily play, but definitely great to watch. So Frostbite passed through the gauntlet, now on his way to Moldorm 2. Goomba taking down Trinex this time. Let's make sure his game doesn't crash. Gets the 7th crystal.
Oh. Ah! I think Frostbite has done a better job at annoying himself more than he's done a job of annoying us this phase.
That's true. Down goes Moldarm 2 as Goomba makes his way into Ganon's tower. Followed behind Dracaris, who's in there. And we are now joined with our first place on the restream runner, Korak. Korak, GG.
GG, thank you.
Well, what'd you think about that seed? That was a fun one for us to watch.
Man, I don't know. I didn't really like it that much.
I understand the runner wouldn't like it, but the chat and us viewers definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, I don't think things were going as poorly as I thought they were just because of the seed and how it went, but when I went to ice over going back to Spike Cave, that was just me saying, you know what, I'm really far behind and let's just make the play. Even though I already, Bombos was required for Meyer, so that kind of devalued it a little bit, but I'm like, let's just go for it.
Yeah. We were kind of all over the place. I think Frostbite was the first one with the hook shot and also with the fire rod, but he was the last one with the boots. So he put off Thieves Town most of the run. Whereas after you guys all went to Pod, got your hammer, you all went back to Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I considered just sequence breaking Death Mountain at that point, but there were, from my perspective, I had done everything, so I knew there was progression in the back of Thieves Town. Now, it could have just been the lamp, which, whatever, but it also could have been the flute, which it turned out to be, and that flute led to the boots, and I'm like, man, I got this so much later than somebody that just does Thieves Town without the hammer, and I feel horrible already.
Yeah, that's what... Actually, all 4 of you left Thieves Town after getting the bow, so... I'm sure some of the other runners that ran the race that finished ahead of you guys completed Thieves Town the first time through, but I think that was the best way to route this was to just complete Thieves Town initially.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a reasonable play, especially in like a standard and open. I definitely prefer putting off Thieves Town when I can't get to the big chest in like Key Sanity, but it's a lot closer in standard and open, and I've definitely, a lot of my friends that I have routing conversations with, we certainly, this is one area where I am the most conservative out of everybody, so this one it kind of came back to bite me.
Yeah, just some weird spots for items. Let's actually get our GGs in for Frostbite here. It just takes down Ganon. We'll get you time for that as well. But some of the items, hammer and pod, fire rod left side swamp, hook shot in Spike Cave. It's just unfortunate placing.
Yeah, and everything at the end of the seed, I'm just like, I was just completely checked out mentally, and I think the cherry on top was the big key in Hope Room when I did the left side, the Salphos room first, and I'm just like, well, yeah. I guess nothing can go right this seed, so whatever. And I kind of just like went through the motions at that point with my, what was it, like a 6-cycle land mode 2 with silvers? I don't know, it was somewhere around there.
Ocelot, do you have a time for Frostbite, official time?
I do. He finished in 10th place with a time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, 28 seconds.
We'll see if Frostbite wants to talk about this. Frostbite had some gambles that could have, like, he could have been in go mode a lot sooner. He just kept putting off Thieves Town, and we'll see what he but he has to think about that one.
All right, guys. Well, I just want to say thank you for commentating and the restream. I'll hop out of here and let you interview some of the other finishers.
GG's, Korak. Thanks for the restream, and everyone make sure you follow Korak and send out love. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Looks like Frostbite will be joining us here soon, as Dracarys is going to be our third runner on the restream to finish Ganon. Ocelot, how you feeling?
Honestly, absolutely fantastic race. Absolutely exhilarating. This race, almost the kind of race I would have raced it myself, because I mentioned earlier, I like to clear Feast Town as soon as I can, so I could have done this quite a bit quicker.
Yeah, and Dracarys gets their fourth arrow into Ganon. Is going to get the finish here. We'll get the time for you soon, so get your GGs in chat. Meanwhile, Frostbite has joined us. Frostbite, how about that Feast Town?
Honestly, I'm not even mad about Thieves Town. It's dying in Eastern Palace was the thing that killed my run, because I was like, okay, I basically had done it fairly well until then, and then I died in Eastern Palace, and it's like, okay, well, there's 3 minutes down the toilet. Let's go see how we can throw away another 10 minutes. So I decided to go to ice. But honestly, I was kind of feeling like the fire rod might be in ice. I don't know why, if that made any sense at all, but yeah, if I didn't die in Eastern, I was going right back to Thieves Town. I probably would have won this damn thing, because I feel like I got the hammer fairly quickly. Yeah, it was just a disaster after Eastern Palace, and then the whole Swamp Palace thing happened, and then the whole Ice Palace thing happened. Like, you know, your run's bad when you can have 3 chapters that are titled like the Eastern Palace disaster, the Swamp Palace debacle, and the Ice Palace, I don't even know, equal disaster. But
Yeah.
it was terrible, man. Yeah,
Well,
it was a really interesting seed though, because I'm assuming everyone else got mucked up by the hook shot, right?
it was a hook shot and fire rod, which you had. You know, once you had both the hook shot and the fire rod, if you had just gone to Thieves Town and gotten your flute, you would have been in go mode
Yeah,
really quickly.
so fast.
But you know, you kept putting off Thieves Town. We declared you in the lead quite a few different times, and then you know.
Yeah. What time did Korek finish at? Because I feel like I didn't outlast location the last location of it. So.
He was 1 hour 43.
So he didn't do that. I'm sort of surprised there wasn't like a 1:20 in finish time in this seed, because it was definitely right there. You know, if you did it sort of like me, where you ended up last locationing the gloves and noping out, and then I basically went right bow and right to the hammer, and then if you just gone back to Thieves Town, you could have been in go mode, assuming you go to Spike Cave at some point fairly quickly. So, but GG's to whoever won it. I think it might have been Cassidy Moen or
Yeah, he was in first place. And if I may interrupt you just there, Dracarys has finished in. I've actually lost it now. We've had a whole bunch of finishes now. Dracarys finished in 11th place with a time of 1 hour 50 minutes 56 seconds, and Goomba has just finished in 14th place with a time of 1 hour 52 minutes 40 seconds. So GG's to the both of them, and I believe Goomba's now here in the chat too.
Yeah, Goomba actually had to do Turtle Rock twice because their game crashed after beating Trineck.
Oof. At least only Turtle Rock twice and not half the game twice. Man, that sucks.
And that's kind of been Dracarys' situation. He went into Turtle Rock without the fire rod, and then he went into Swamp Palace without the hookshot, and then had to double dip both of those dungeons. If it wasn't for the crash, we would have been behind Goomba.
Yeah, Goomba and Dracarys both living up to their ALTTP R League names of the last locationers in this one, unfortunately for them.
Yeah. It was an interesting seed though, because like talking about how quick it could have been. The reality is, if you get all those fast things, how quickly do you go find that hook shot, right? So I don't know. It was just like one of those ones where I was sort of just incredibly frustrated the whole time I was playing it. So, and then I honestly thought about going back and just killing Cold Stare, A, out of spite, and B, out of if I want to like do well in this race, it has to be Ped, right? So I didn't do it, but it was a mess. But it could have been what could have been. But man, like, I nailed the dark rooms in pod, and then I don't know what happened. I think I drew down the left Igor, and he just bodied the heck out of me in the bottom row. And then I got the door unlocked, and then I died right before I walked through the door. And
Yeah.
I had a red potion too, and I was like, I know I can make it. I'm good, right? Nah, what a joke show.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
And then forgetting to flip the switch before going left side in Swamp Palace. Let me just say, I'm glad the fire rod wasn't on the other side.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. What about you also went into Eastern and forgot a chest and had to go back to grab it as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I had one of those feelings like something weird, like my counts didn't add up, and then I was like, oh, I only checked the first chest when I came in for the last time. So, it's just everyone's luck when you skip that one thing, and inevitably it would have ended up being the big key had I tried to skip it or something silly like that, right? So, no, I made all kinds of mental mistakes in this run. Not an excuse, but my dog is freaking out like half the run too, so it's like he's like pawing at me and barking and stuff. So like, I'm sure that's exactly what happened in Swamp Palace. I was like, I don't need to think about this stuff, but man, I don't flood the key, but I am just notorious for forgetting to flip that switch for whatever reason.
Well, it was fun. Go ahead.
You're not the only one that's flooded the key, so you're in good company. I've never flooded a key, honestly. Never.
Not one. Yeah.
Or forgot to flip the switch.
Yeah. Oh man, it was funny. But I feel like I played pretty well for the most part. Other than, I really didn't want to go fight Cold Stare when I did, but I said, the only thing you can gain out of here now is if there's something on the ped. And then when I took the 2 hits early, I was like, do I really want to take the potion? And I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. Then I took another 2 hits, and I was just like, I'm just gonna suicide myself here because I'm not wasting my other potions on this lost cause. So.
Well, it was fun for us to watch. You guys were, the routing choices by everyone was interesting for us. Hard to keep up with because everyone did something a little bit different. And then you all congregate in like pod or Eastern, and then everyone goes their separate ways. It was a really fun watch.
It was a fun think back too, because that lamp location is actually fairly rude, right? Because the hammer was lamp locked, but that meant you had to beat Thieves Town without the hammer to go to get the flute to go down and get the lamp, right? So that was
the hammer actually wasn't in the dark.
But I believe it was. Oh yeah, you might be right.
It was in the harmless hallway, so you didn't need to go in the dark to get it. And then the seed was expecting you to go over to Maya and get the lamp.
I think you had to get keys from the dark.
Well, there was one key in the dark, but if you logically, you wouldn't go into a dark room that open a door with a key, so you couldn't.
But I think you could always open that dark room door without the key, without the lamp.
You could open. That's true. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm certain that it was lamp locked. I'm almost certain.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Like if you open the door to, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
You opened the door to the dark maze on accident, right?
But you still had 2 keys at that point. So if you open the door to the dark maze, and then I guess if you open the door to go,
well, but that was in the dark, right? Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was lamp locked in my head. I could be wrong. I don't know. It was definitely bow locked.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought I pulled. No, you're right. I pulled Bombos and a small key out of the dark basement. Is what I think it was. It was either Bombos or the map. Yeah, because I got those 2 in the 2 dark chests. I think the 2 silent chests. I don't know. But I was really surprised to find the hammer there. So it was interesting. But I don't know. I have to go back and look at it where the keys actually were. So, anyways, I'm gonna get going. Thanks for having me on the restream again, Fear, and thanks to Revolving Ocelot and you guys for calling, and to the trackers and all the restreamer and racers and everything else. It was a fun time today, although it was a very frustrating seed for me.
Yeah, frustrating for you, fun for us.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all frustrating. That's kind of why you play. You kind of like hate,
Yeah.
like you hate yourself, and that's why you keep playing this to see how sort of mad and frustrated you can make yourself. Or
Yeah, you
look
got randoed.
Yeah, and then we can all just complain on Discord about how badly we got trolled afterwards, right? So that's half the fun.
Okay, I think I'm alive.
Good. Well, GG's, Goomba. The fact that you continued on after your game crashed is impressive. Because even if I was on the restream, I would have forfeited that one.
I was very close to hitting the forfeit. Not gonna lie, I was real close.
Kudos to you for sticking it out. And we were saying to Frostbite that he was in the lead a couple of times. You were in the lead a couple of times, at least on the restream. If it hadn't been for dipping out of Swamp Palace and missing that firewall, you would have actually been the first restream runners to probably finish Ganon.
Yeah, that's about what I figured, given the timing of the other finishers.
Can you give us your thoughts about leaving 2 items in Swamp? Did you? I don't think you had a lot left after that.
Honestly, I just felt behind because of the Ice Palace play, and I felt I needed to gamble.
Okay.
So I decided to just assume Fire wasn't Turtle Rock, which it decidedly was not.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Excuse me.
And we actually had most of our runners go into pretty extensive clears of the pendant dungeons, and all of our pendant dungeons were completely unnecessary in every way. There were no items to be found in any of them.
Yeah, half magic. I think was the best thing gotten out of a pendant dungeon.
I got $20 in Ice Palace.
Well, there you go. Any other thoughts, Goomba, before we finish up?
That flute can go screw itself. You can't just give me mitts for Dark World access and then put progression on blind. That's my kryptonite. Don't do that.
Yeah, especially when you got that bow.
Yeah, the bow made it so obvious the hammer was most likely in pod. And I'm not going into the back of Thieves Town with the hammer. I'm just not. I refuse. I never do it.
But it was kind of like a great diversionary trick by the seas to send you off in a different direction to miss out on that flute and then the hook and then the fire rod and the hook shot and everything else.
Yeah. Well, the only good thing I did that seed was Galaxy Blade and hook shot, I guess. But doesn't help when you last location and everything else.
You were the second runner to grab the hookshot, actually. Frostbite actually went to Super Galaxy Brain and got that hookshot way ahead of everyone. But
that sounds like
he then went to the wrong galaxy and skipped on Thieves Town forever, so he missed out on the flute for a very long time.
Yeah, I basically last location flute. The only other thing I had open at that point was hammer pegs, I'm pretty sure. And like a couple other logic checks on Death Mountain, Spike Cave and Spiral Cave. That's about it. Oh, and I guess Swamp Palace, but screw that.
All right, Ocelot, any last thoughts?
No. Get some rest, Goomba, because you've got a bit of a bad cough there, but you gave us a great race, and honestly, all of our runners gave us a great race today. It was back and forth between pretty much everyone except poor Jacaz, who on IC stated that they were kind of missing a page in their book, so they're not joining us in chat today, which is understandable. But thank you very much for the race, Goomba, and to our other racers as well, Jacaz, Frostbite, and Korek.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks to all the commentators, trackers, viewers, all that. Sorry for coughing your ears out.
Feel better, Goomba, and again, mad props for continuing on after the game crash.
I'm just sad, like, why did the big key have to be in Hope Room? I wanted to do Tile Room. I was gunning straight for Tile Room. I think game just threw the big key at me.
It puts you through enough.
I guess so.
All right, the schedule's not set for tonight, but there is a couple different things going on. There's the Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer on Speed Gaming, 7:30. Also at 5:30. an Ori in the Blind Forest at 5 as well. So you can check the Speed Gaming schedule at speedgaming.org/schedule. There's also some ALTTPR tournaments going on. We've got the French and the German tournament going on. And you can find those on their respective channels as well. If you are a fan of ALTTPR, you like Randomizer, we've got a couple different tournaments going on, are coming up. We've got the German tournament, we've got the French tournament, we've got a spoiler log tournament coming up at the end of the month. That will be restreamed here on Speed Gaming as well. And we've got the ALTTPR League, which starts on Sunday, which will have some matches here on Speed Gaming as well. So keep an eye on that. Big shout out to our trackers again, Jen and Link40. Two best trackers in the game. Ocelot, this was a blast. I had a great time doing comms with you. We've got to do it again, and hopefully we get some great seeds like this as well.
I think I missed Metroid a ZMZ3 race on Monday, but I'll see what I can do.
That'd be good. To everyone that enjoyed the race, make sure you give follows to the runners, comms and trackers as well, if they have streams that they stream on. And make sure you follow Speed Gaming and the Speed Gaming channels as well. We've got daily races twice a day throughout the weekend, and of course the weekly on Sundays. So lots of stuff to check out here on Speed Gaming. We're going to call it. It's been a really fun race, and we hope to see you all again. I'm Fear Agent, and with me was Revolving Ocelot. Have a great night, everyone.
Have a good night, and thanks for watching.